With that being said, welcome to the new show on the block. Touching every topic, guaranteed to make it hot. Run them Phillip River spirals to girly running the rock. Run them lake show dunks to them game winning shots. It's a lock, it's a fact that we only spitting facts. Like who wreck a finna flop and who stay on top of that. Who the hottest of the month and who really spitting trash. Don't stress, just guess. This your favorite podcast. Everything should be dead after.
That's what he said.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending what time it is, wherever you are in the world. Listen to us right now. I am Francisco, your host with the most, a.k.a. defective_TDK on the IG, and I'm chilling with my co-host.
What's up, everybody? It's Daniel, a.k.a. Unruly Pretty Rocco on that IG.
And you are now tuned in to episode 53 of
With That Being Said.
And just in case you were wondering, that intro only took one take, and that's the story I'm sticking to.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Because who would know?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
There's a couple important issues I want to get to, but I feel like we should start off with a birthday.
Okay.
We're going to start off with your boy, Weezy F Baby. Weezy F Baby turned 37, which blows my mind.
Damn, he is young as fuck.
He's not even 40 yet,
That's
bro.
crazy.
For as long as he's been around, he's not even 40. But, yeah, I guess you look back, and it's like he did start when he was super fucking young. So happy birthday to the boy. We should talk about his catalog a little bit.
Let's do it.
Obviously, you have the Carter catalog, right?
Yep.
5 Carters deep.
It is 5 Carters deep. Fuck.
The last one, so-so.
Carter 4.
4 was so-so.
So what? I think it was so-so, but I think it was still better than 5.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 5, but also, I think he kind of screwed himself. Well, I mean, it wasn't him doing it to himself, but the fact that he wasn't able to release it for so long, that the hype and the anticipation, it just set the bar so high that when it came out, I was like, oh, that's not what we expected.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to say it was bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
No. Shout out to the Carter 2, the Carter 3. The block is hot, super throwback. But sorry for the wait and no ceilings. Fire.
I mean, I think Lil Wayne is the one who kind of brought into the whole like mixtape like scene, right? I feel like it was him.
He brought it more to the forefront, for sure. Mixtape's been around forever, but it was just a simple fact that he was going on that run of just not saying no to any features, and he was killing everything he was getting on, to the point where it's like, damn, well, I can't just drop 3 albums in 1 year. So he's dropping mixtapes, just throwaway shit, and it was just fire. So he definitely made it more popular, but yeah, mixtapes been around for a while. But happy birthday, Weezy, man. 37.
Yeah, man, he's young.
Stop sipping lean, man. Stop sipping lean. But let's talk about his compadre, as my friends of the South like to say. Your boy Drizzy Drake. He had an anniversary this last week. It was the anniversary for Nothing Was the Same, his 3rd album. Nothing Was the Same, I think, on its 6-year anniversary, I think I'm okay with saying is his best body of work.
I think I can agree with that.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I think he has a great discography for the most part.
Definitely does.
So definitely much respect to his other bodies of work, but I think this must be his best one. Started from the bottom, Wu-Tang Forever, Worst Behavior, The Language, and Come Through. Words of Drake.
That was the last song. Oh no, I think that wasn't the second to last
song.
But it felt like the last song because it got me in my feels.
That's where you wanted to end it.
That's where I wanted to end it.
Both the album and your life. Started from the bottom, it always brings me back to one specific memory. Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels tends to choose Drake songs for his walk-up songs, for his intros when he's coming out. And I remember I went to an Angels game, and I'm sitting aisle seat, right? Across the aisle from me is a gentleman of the Caucasian persuasion, right?
Okay.
And Mike Trout comes up, and all throughout the stadium, all you hear is, started from the bottom, now we're here, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just looking around, and I see the gentleman, and like, he gives a little bit of a head nod, sipping on his beer. Okay, 2 innings later, 3 innings later, Mike Trout comes up. All throughout the stadium, all you hear is, started from the bottom, now we're here. I'm looking around, and I see this gentleman of the Caucasian persuasion, and he's rocking back and forth now a little bit, right? he got his beer to his mouth in his left hand, and his right hand he got his elbow out, and he's rocking back and forth in his seat.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I fuck with it. You know, it gets to be a good game. A little further in the game, maybe 8th, 9th inning, Mike Trout comes up. All you hear throughout the stadium, started from the bottom, now we're here. And this guy's up out of his seat.
Yeah.
He's out of his seat doing his little two-step, and he cheering loud as fuck. And I'm like, that's the power of alcohol and Drake, I feel like. So that song will forever bring me back to that one memory. I thought it was real dope. But what's your favorite song on there, or what stands out to you on that album?
I'm looking at the track list right now. One of my favorite verses in that album is actually not from Drake. It's from Jay-Z and Pound Cake.
Pound Cake, okay.
If I can choose a song in particular, I think Tuscan Leather.
Right off top.
It just kind of
opening up the album.
Just set up the album. Him just going off.
Yeah.
And like the song isn't, the album isn't just him rapping. It's him singing a lot too.
Yeah.
But I just love that like intensity that you turn on play, you press play on the album and bam, there's Drake just going at you.
Yeah. I also like the fact that, like, right off top, Tuscan Leather, he makes a reference that really dates the album, where he's like, I'm reaching heights that Dwight Howard couldn't reach. And I'm like, oh, this must have been when Dwight Howard was good, obviously.
Yeah,
This is when this album was dropped.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, it's a great piece of work. Like I said, I think it's his best. And I think that's saying a lot to say a great artist, best piece of work. I think that says a lot.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
So for sure, Nothing Was the Same. Make sure to rewind. I was going to say check it out, but I'm pretty sure we've all listened to it. But if you haven't, rewind that bitch, dog. Go back to that.
Just go back to it from beginning to end. Bring back some memories.
There's another album of another artist that I'm particularly a fan of that had its anniversary. And it was September 27, 2011 was the debut album for Mr. Jermaine Lamar Cole. Cold World Sideline Story. When this album came out, I skipped school, went to Target to buy the album, and listened to it all
Really?
day. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna hit up Cole and I'm gonna let him know what you did.
I mean, he's got in my tweets. He's got in my emails.
I'm just saying. I know a couple people that might know him, so I might let him know.
Per my last email. But yeah, man, that album, I don't think is his best body of work. I think it's still a good album, but for me, who was at that point a fan so religiously, like I just expected something different. But still, it had songs on there. Can't Get Enough with Trey, Lights Please, which was made famous off of the Warm Up mixtape.
Yeah.
Mr. Nice Watch featuring Jay-Z, In the Morning, which is a remix to the original song On the Come Up featuring Drake, and Nobody's Perfect, Missy Elliott.
I really like that song a lot.
Yeah, there's fire all across the board. There's a song in specific where I remember, this is when I was pushing J. Cole onto everybody as much as I could. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
As much as I could, bro. And
so you're a day one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I had one of my friends come up to me and be like, oh, there's a specific song on there that, like, made me cry, made me think of my dad or whatever. And I was like, bro, he just got that kind of juice, dude. He got that power. He make you feel things.
A little sidebar. Or what album was Lost Ones in? Was it this one?
Yeah, it was this one.
Okay, so hey.
Crazy, man.
Crazy.
For anybody who doesn't know, Lost Ones is a song about a couple who gets an abortion, and basically within his verses, he tells the guy's perspective and the female's perspective. And it's just really crazy how in-depth he goes and how great he is at the art of storytelling. This album was pushed back a few times. And as a Cole fan, it was super frustrating because you were waiting for the debut to drop. The first time it was being pushed back because Jay-Z didn't want to let him drop without having like a number one hit, like a single, something that could be played on the radio. So he was waiting for him to make that, and Cole would be constantly bringing songs to him, and Jay would be like, nah, that's good, but that's not the one. And then eventually he got to that record with Paula Abdul sample.
Oh, crap. I don't remember.
The rebound, so I caught it off the backboard.
Oh, damn.
I know.
Cole fan.
I couldn't think of the fucking song, and I didn't want to look it up on the track list because I was like, that's whack if I got to look it up on the track list.
I'm going to try to think about it while you talk. Fuck, wow, what song is that?
Yeah, it's tricky, but yeah.
But no, I'm going to see you again.
Yep. And in the music video, he's leaning up on a chain fence with the snapback hat towards his top.
Yeah.
His hair growing out. I remember. I can't remember the name of the fucking song, but Either way, he finally gets that, and then Jay gives him the green light. All right, we're going forward with the album. And the whole time, Cole was waiting for a Jay-Z verse for a feature, and he finally gave up. He's like, damn, I don't think I'm going to get it. And Jay-Z stops the publishing and the mastering a week before the album's supposed to drop, and he finally gives him the guest verse on Mr. Nice Watch. Classic Hove move, right? Just boss move. Like, when I'm ready, you'll get it, you know? Cold World, man, check that shit out. The Sideline Story. I fuck with it. It's a good album. Not his best, but it's a good album. One more album I want to talk about is Kirk by DaBaby. And the only reason I want to talk about it is because DaBaby was on Revenge of the Dreamers 3, and he really surprised me.
You really like this verse, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, like, I don't know why I haven't been fucking with this dude. Well, I do know. It's because he named himself DaBaby. And I'm like, I'm not listening to nobody who names himself DaBaby.
And he dresses up in diapers and shit.
Well, I didn't know what to expect. Does he?
I seen him like dress up like in a diaper.
Don't tell me that, cause
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a pleasant surprise, his guest verse, and that's one thing that I really like about the Revenge of the Dreamers album. That there was a few artists on there who I was like, damn, I never really gave them a chance before, and because they surprised me, I go back and check out their shit. So his debut album dropped, and he's just the kind of guy I feel like you want to root for. I was listening to a story where he talks about the day he found out his single reached #1 was the same day he found out his father died.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, damn, like, you know, they say the universe works in mysterious ways, but that shit is crazy.
That's wild. That's super wild.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't know what that album's gonna sound like. I haven't checked it out yet, but I know it's out now. So check it out and listen to it for yourself and form your own opinion. I'll let you guys know whether I like it or not, but either way, regardless, that's the guy I'm rooting for. DaBaby. I want to talk about your boy real quick though.
Who?
Your boy. And I say your
My
boy
boy?
because it's not my boy. It's your boy Nick Cannon.
Oh, my boy.
That's your boy, right?
No.
Oh,
Who was Nick Cannon?
I feel like I constantly catch you singing, I'm a gigolo, getting lots of hoes. However the fuck the song goes. I don't know how the rest of the song
That's the one
goes.
with R. Kelly?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
won't talk about R. Kelly.
And it has
so.
the flute in the background. Do, 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 do.
I know that song with him and B2K. That shit was fire, though.
Yes, like I said, your boy.
I don't know about my boy, but okay. Go ahead.
Nick Cannon made headlines recently because he
Headlines, finally. He finally makes headlines.
Well, I don't think that's fair to say. He is like the face of Power 106 now.
Uh-huh. He is, because yeah, you're right.
You know, he has the Beats headphones. He has Wildin' Out. Yeah,
He has the Beats headphones? No, he does it? What?
I mean, I'm sorry. He has his version of the Beats
Which
headphones.
are fucking...
The incredible. You haven't even listened to him.
They're probably whack.
Yeah,
like
God.
his music. Except
Hey,
with
dude.
B2K. B2K made the song dope.
What about his movies though?
Drumline? Kind of cool.
And then he had one where he was like an FBI agent, but he has to go undercover and go back to school.
Oh, I completely forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
Horrible, probably. I don't know.
Probably.
I saw it for sure, but I for sure it was bad.
I remember I saw it too.
Like, yeah.
And then he had the one with Christina Milian.
Was it a dance movie?
No, it was like Love. No. It was one where he was like a nerd or whatever, and she like dresses him up and like makes him like super popular in high school.
No, I don't remember.
And then he gets super poppin' and he blows her off.
Okay.
And she's like, what the fuck? And then they fall in love.
And then
after.
they live happily ever after.
I'm assuming. I don't really remember, but what's the cost of love? I was going to say love don't cost a thing, but that's a J-Lo song, huh?
No, but then I don't fucking know. It's Nick Cannon. Who cares?
Either way, Nick Cannon has a catalog. Whether that catalog is good or not, it's up for debate
Yes.
amongst idiots.
Uh-huh.
All right. Nick Cannon was recently in the news because he was a guest on T.I.'s new podcast called Expeditiously. Good name, good classic T.I. word.
And it has T.I. in the middle of it.
Uh-huh. I see what you did there.
Yeah, wordplay or letter play.
Letter play. And Nick Cannon's a guest on there, and I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know if T.I. brought it up or if Nick Cannon brought it up, but I'm assuming T.I. asked him about it.
I'm assuming Nick Cannon brought it up.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm a betting man. I think Nick Cannon brought it up. He had to bring it up.
You think he brought it up?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, either way, what we're talking about is a few years ago when Eminem had that little subpar beef with Mariah Carey. And at the time, Nick Cannon was Mariah Carey's husband. So Mariah Carey released the song Obsessed With Me.
Yeah, why are you so
obsessed with me? And even in the music video, she had a guy like dressed up to look like
a zip-up
Eminem.
hoodie with the hood on and everything.
And he had the beanie, I think. And then And then I remember Eminem did Warning or The Warning.
The Warning. Then he went off on that shit.
Eminem did what he does, you know?
Yeah, he does.
He did what he does.
He did.
And then Nick Cannon had a response that is not worth remembering because it's Nick Cannon from All That. Who cares?
I thought you didn't say wow. Then I said All That.
That's All That. That's where I met him.
True.
Yeah. So on this podcast, Nick Cannon goes on to say, I was looking for Eminem. He was seeking out a physical altercation with Eminem. And he even says, he's like, oh, Eminem, Marshall Mathers is not the type of guy to want the smoke.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Nick Cannon.
What?
Are you the guy that wants the smoke?
Interesting.
Is that you? Now, I don't know you personally, but you're saying that based off of what you know of Eminem. So for people to sit down and talk about you based off what they know about you, I mean, are you the guy that wants to smoke? Like, since when are you the beef guy? Since when is that you?
Interesting.
Aren't
Very
you the
interesting.
guy that like got your whole back tatted like with your girl's name and fucking
Yeah.
like what?
He did.
Like,
Oh, he did.
yeah.
And he had a big ass piece to cover that shit up.
Yeah, like I'm sorry. You're the go-to guy for the beef?
Yeah. To catch the smoke?
To be honest with you, the clip felt very, and maybe because he's in the news so much lately, it felt very Tekashi 6ix9ine-ish.
Okay. Very just troll.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know?
Hey man, he wants some more listeners for Power 106.
It happened years ago. Let that shit go.
I feel it.
Like, we both know you're not on par with Eminem lyrically. And at the end of the day, we're talking about grown ass men and you was trying to fight. I kind of get where he was coming from. It's like, oh, this dude's saying all this thing and it's like about my wife.
Yeah, of course. You're trying to have your wife's back.
But at the same time, like, you're celebrities. Like, it's not, none of this shit is real. You know?
Maybe it is. What you mean?
I mean, like, the threats and all that. Like, none of this shit is real. None of you guys are doing anything because you all get sued.
That's
Yeah.
true. Nobody wants to lose their money.
Yeah. Like, for what? Like, it's going to be millions. To, if you could actually beat him up, is it worth all that? Well, and I'm not even sure he would sue you or anything. But I'm saying, would you risk that?
But I think I remember him saying that he's like, "Oh, I went to Detroit." I think he said something like that, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm like, bro, like you gotta be careful, bro. Like, I don't know if I want.
I mean, I don't know who knows who behind the scenes, but it was just very like, why are we even talking about this? It's 2019. Last time I checked.
That shit was like we were like in high school.
I think
like
we were in high school, bro.
2009, maybe. That's a long time ago. And they're not even together anymore.
Mariah Carey was relevant. Like, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
Was she relevant? I think she was
she had that Emancipation
somewhat
of Mimi album.
Oh yeah.
Come on, dude. You don't know your Mariah Carey albums?
I mean, obviously, I guess you do.
I mean, she was relevant at the time. Next thing I want to move on to was some good news that we heard today, right? After talking about that trash, let's talk about some good news. It appears that Sony has finally agreed to a deal to allow Spider-Man, a.k.a. Tom Holland, not Tom Holland, a.k.a. Spider-Man, back into the MCU. Thank goodness, huh? You know what it felt like when I read that?
What?
I took my hand across my forehead and went, whew. That's what that felt like.
Like that SpongeBob beep where like he's like holding the wall. He's like, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Well,
thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Same, but no.
Same. What do you mean same?
Because
Okay.
that one's more like he was tired.
But he was relieved.
Mine was more like I was relieved.
Okay, I guess. But okay, whatever. I was reaching, but it's all good.
How you feel about it, though?
I feel great. I feel great, but it's what I find weird about it is that I guess they agreed to a third film with the third film in the Homecoming series,
Right.
and then that he's gonna appear in another MCU movie in the future.
Okay.
That's not been announced. So that's only 2 movies.
Right.
Like I feel like is that
It's
it?
not enough?
Is that it? Is that? Oh, let's just do these and then you're out, or is it like let's do these and then let's do some more? It's weird.
I feel like the success of it all will lead to negotiations staying open.
It's gonna be successful, man. It's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's going to be a hit. But I remember I read a comment, something along the lines of, oh, they were just trying to build hype. That's why they were releasing the details of them not agreeing to whatever. And it's like, I don't think so, because there was already hype,
hype
around
was there.
it.
The hype was been there.
Already there.
Yeah.
People are excited to see Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
People, yeah, exactly.
So-
Especially now that Iron Man's gone, now that Captain America's
Yeah,
gone.
especially that phase 3 is over. Everyone's excited to see what the next step is, you know? So it's like the hype was there, the money making's there. The only thing that holds them back is the
Is
greediness of it all.
exactly.
So it's
How
like
many-
no, I don't think that they were.
How many more billions do they want?
Yeah, and I
Basically.
mean, do you ever get to the point where enough is enough?
I don't know. I don't got that much money, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, shit. If I got $20 and you offer me another $20, I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah, but if you got $10 million and someone offers you 3 more, do you really need those 3 more million?
Ooh, depends. Am I trying to buy something worth $13 million?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
But when you also have a completely successful other franchise,
No,
like,
yeah, I feel it.
it's
I
like maybe we could overlook a couple things. But I'm excited, man. I think I've said it on the show. I've said it to Francisco a bunch of times. I think Spider-Man is key to the X-Men coming into the MCU.
Yeah, it's
I
them
feel
being
like-
introduced.
I feel like that's how they introduce it, is through Spider-Man. And like when Spider-Man was out, I was bummed because I'm like, damn, like now I just don't see how it would be a smooth introduction,
Yeah, I was more worried because they're just gonna leave us on a cliffhanger.
especially with
After Far From Home?
After Far From Home,
I was like, bro, the setup was fucking great. Let's keep it rolling. So that was kind of whack to me. But looks like we're gonna get a movie in 2021. I'm fucking excited for it. Let's do it.
let's do it.
Let's get this bread. Some other guys that are trying to get this bread is the Los Angeles Lakers. Today was Lakers Media Day. Danny, how does that make you feel knowing that Media Day has arrived?
Okay. Look, so I've been hype, and then I found out Kuzma broke his foot.
It's broken?
It's broken.
Okay.
Sorry, breaking news.
I didn't know it was broken. I know he had a foot injury. I
It's
didn't know it was
it's
broken.
a stress fracture. I'm gonna check in with our doctor that's helping us out.
Standing by.
Yeah, see what that means. Fuck, it's a mental health doctor, so it's not the same thing. Fuck.
Not the same thing.
Never mind.
But he know how to use Google, so
Yeah.
so we'll be all right.
But I mean, again, I'm excited. It sucks because Media Day reminded me of what could have been with all these injuries that we have. But still, I still feel like we're a championship team. Let's get the season going, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, it just, to me, it reminds me that preseason is 8 days away, which means that NBA season is like, what, a month away?
A month or so away.
Like, we're right there.
Which-
We're at the starting
Yeah,
line,
man.
basically. You know, we're ready to go. And even with Kuzma being out, yeah, maybe he'll miss some time, but I don't think he's going to miss the whole year.
And then also Boogie, because even Boogie was at Media Day too, taking pictures, which is kind of weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
That is fucking
Like
weird.
I saw a picture of him, like I forgot what they told him to make like a contemplating pose. He just looks like he's just out of it. Like,
It's like, why am I even
here?
here, bro?
Exactly, because he's on if he was on a 3-year deal, like, oh, okay, well, we'll be here
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year. But he's like, why the fuck am I here? I'm probably not even gonna play for these dudes no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
He's
so
like,
that-
I'm on a 1-year deal, and the Lakers already, they did their bid with the NBA to get some sort of, or at least a bit of their money back for the DeMarcus Cousins because he got hurt before the year even started. So it's like, I'm probably not gonna be here next year. Like, these guys are moving on from me, which is their right. They're not wrong to do so. It's like, you're fucking injury prone. You're not what you used to be. If anything, for me, it was weird to see Dwight Howard.
I completely forgot that Dwight Howard's on this team.
And, his hair's a little bit longer. He's wearing 39, a random-ass number.
That is a random ass number.
Yeah, but also, you're not the guy you used to be. You can't just come in here and ask for your number.
Well, who's number 12 on the team?
I don't know, but I feel like LeBron's probably like, nah, bro, you can't get 12.
Like, it's like, oh, 12's open. Nah, you can't get that. You
Nah,
can get the number I choose to get. Like, I'm gonna choose a random number for you to get.
You get 39.
Sounds like a end of the bench number.
Yeah, that's where you finna be all year long. But yeah, it's exciting to see everybody together. It's exciting to see Anthony Davis and LeBron take pictures together.
Yeah.
It's like, we got one of the best duos in the league for sure. And Anthony Davis is putting personal challenges out there. He wants to win Defensive Player of the Year, and he wants him and LeBron to be first team all defense. And I like the second one because that tells me that he's challenging LeBron in the public, and he saw LeBron take plays off last year. And it's like, if we're gonna come win a chip, you can't do that.
Something else that I liked. I read a quote that LeBron said. I'm not sure it was on the radio, but an interview. He said, if we're not gonna run the offense through Anthony Davis, then he shouldn't be. Then he shouldn't be on the floor with us. Saying that he's all in on running the offense through Anthony Davis, which I think is a great sign.
Yeah, it's a good quote. We'll see how true it is though.
We'll see when push comes to shove.
When push comes to shove, when the other team goes on a 12-0 run and it's like, fuck, we gotta make a comeback now. You know, if it's a third quarter and the other team goes on a 12-0 run, and it's like, damn, how much time we have left to push this comeback? Like, all right, I'm just gonna come down and go 1-on-1 a couple times. I'm gonna come down and post up, and I'll facilitate through the post. We'll see. When push comes to shove, we'll see what really happens. But I would love for that to be the truth. If we're gonna facilitate through Anthony Davis, fuck it, let's do it. Let's switch over to NFL because week 3 came and went. And week 4 has started. And it started last night with the Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles last night. Did you catch the game?
I watched some of it.
What'd you think?
Better games in the last 2 weeks.
The last 2 weeks were better games?
The last 2 weeks were worse games than this one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is so far the best Thursday night game.
For sure, best Thursday night
About time.
game.
And about time. And I think a lot of it has to do with scheduling. Like the games that they schedule.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the fact that teams show up on Thursday and they're not mentally prepared or they're not well rested from last week. I just think that they put horrible matchups on the Thursday night games.
I mean, the last 2 ones have been pretty bad. This one was a great matchup.
So they give you this one, and it's like, okay, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz, Devontae Adams, Alshon Jeffrey. Like, let's fucking get it. You know? The Eagles end up beating the Packers 34-27. There was complaints of a missed pass interference call for the Green Bay Packers. They even challenged it, and you know, they decided that there was no pass interference. I'll say this. Throughout the Twitterverse, everybody was complaining that there was missed or blown calls on both sides. And at the end of the day, the score was 34-27, so it was a close game. Aaron Rodgers had a chance to win it at the end, but he throws a pick. So it sounds like it was a great game. Refs are going to miss calls. We know that already. It's the NFL. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Shout out to fantasy owners of Aaron Rodgers. I think he had like good 40 points.
Golly.
I think Jordan Howard had a good 29, 30 points, I think.
I know he scored at least one touchdown.
Yeah. I think I got his stats in front of me. He had, 15 carries, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, jeez.
So,
shout out to Devontae Adams, too, man, because it looks like he finally came out of his shell so far. And I tried to trade for him last week, man.
What happened?
I tried to trade for well, the owner was like, you know what? I'm going to give Devontae Adams one more week. And, you know, if he doesn't produce, you know, we'll talk trades. And I'm like, cool. And then, of course, he comes out on balls.
All he had to do was have a mediocre game for you.
His price just went up, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
His price just went up. So, it is what it is. But the Packers finally took their first L. That was this Thursday's game list. Do you have a game that you think is going to be exciting? It's going to be notable, worth talking about this week?
Honestly,
it's a lot of dead games
looking
this week.
At the lineup for the games, a lot of dead games. The only one I see is the Cowboys game. Who are they playing? Where is it?
The Saints. They're playing the Saints.
Playing the Saints. And that one still might be a little one-sided just because Drew Brees is out.
Yeah.
But they got Teddy Bridgewater. He looked solid.
Who looked good last week.
He looked solid last week. So I think that's going to probably be the best game. And it's actually at 5:20. So it's prime time.
It's the primetime game?
Primetime
Sunday
game.
night?
Yeah.
Okay. The game I chose to pick was Seattle taking on Arizona. The reason I picked that game is because Russell Wilson is a fucking playmaker. Like, he's just a fun guy to watch play football.
He really is.
And on the other side, you have a guy named Kyler Murray who has had some success so far in his first few weeks, and he hasn't even really started to scramble. He's been doing as much as he can inside the pocket, and when he was in college, he really used his feet to keep defenses on their toes. So he hasn't even started to do that yet. Once he does, I think they're going to rack up a couple more wins. I like the resurgence of Larry Fitzgerald. And
for real. This dude.
Kyler Murray's hitting him, bro.
Yeah.
He's hitting him. I think we're in for a shootout, especially because the running game for Seattle hasn't quite been there, only because Chris Carson has been fumbling the ball throughout the first few weeks, to the point where people were thinking, oh, maybe Chris Carson loses his starting spot.
Yeah.
Because how long can Pete Carroll keep trusting this guy with the ball? But the thing is, their backup is hurt. Rashad Penny got hurt in a walkthrough. I'm not really sure how you get hurt in a walkthrough, but I've never been through a walkthrough.
I mean, I'm sure he probably didn't walk. I don't know.
Like, a walkthrough at most is a light jog, right?
I would assume. Like, did somebody trip him?
I'm not really sure. I think he got hurt putting his cleats on.
I feel like he got hurt, like, embarrassingly, and they don't want to say how he got hurt.
Yeah, that sounds more right.
So, yeah, there was a walkthrough. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's weird.
So, if the running game is not there, it limits the playmaker that is Russell Wilson, but I think we're in for a shootout.
I think so.
So, I'm excited for that game.
That makes sense.
Let's go to fantasy for fantasy purposes. Your boy sitting here 3-0, but Danny Danny racked up his first W.
I did.
And how'd it feel?
It felt great.
It was a blowout, too.
It was a blowout. It was such a blowout. I was so disrespectful that I think I still had the Bears defense playing on Monday night.
Yeah.
And I sat them on purpose.
And they gave you, 20
And
points?
they gave me 20 points. I didn't need those 20
You
points.
didn't even need 20 points, bro. It was already a
Who needs
blowout.
that?
Shout out DJ Mars, bro, taking an L. I looked at his team this week, and I told him, I was like, Mars, I was like, tell you the truth, bro, I think you're going to take back-to-back L's. I think that's where he's at right now.
Damn. Okay. Relax, 3-0.
I'm just saying,
Shot
yeah.
caller.
I'm out here GMing shit, dog.
Are you doing good at GMing? I'm impressed.
Thank you. And
You got to redeem yourself.
since we talking about making moves, let's get into start 'em and sit 'em. Danny, who you got starting this week?
All right. I'm going to say it. I'm a homer. I don't care. I got Jared Goff starting against the Buccaneers.
At least you admit you a homer.
I am a homer. But look, the thing is, Jared Goff's off to a slow start. He ranks 20th behind Case Keenum,
Case who?
Case Keenum,
Oh, okay.
Jacoby Brissett, and Andy Dalton. If you just got paid $100 million, I don't want you to be ranked behind those three players.
Very true.
But the Buccaneers defense have given up 37 points. Sorry, they gave up 37 points to Daniel Jones last week. This is the time for him to shine. He has his weapons. He's not in the. What's crazy is that he's not having a bad start. He's having just like a mediocre start to the season.
Uh-huh.
So to me, he's gonna get it together. He has weapons. He's a good quarterback. I believe in him. He's my quarterback, so I have to. So start Jared Goff.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start this off with the quarterback that I'm going to sit, and I'm going to sit Derek Carr. And it makes me feel like a little bit of a hater because we're only 4 weeks in, and I've already picked Derek Carr twice. But it just is what it is. Derek Carr is limited in his options. He has an injured Tyrell Williams as his best wide receiver. They have a running back in Josh Jacobs, who's young, but he's very capable. But at the collegiate level, he was a great pass catcher, and they just haven't gone to him for that so far in the pros. Why? I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. But if you're the Raiders, probably not, tell you the truth. They do have Darren Waller at tight end, who was a sleeper at the beginning of this year. Darren Waller was a fucking sleeper at tight end. I happened to pick him up in fantasy. Great GM move by me. Pat on my back.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I think Darren Waller is going to get most of the work this Sunday. I'm not saying it's going to be a lot because they are playing a stingy Colts defense. I think they're better than most people would say. But Darren Waller's getting most of the work this week. Sit Derek Carr.
Just so you guys know, this dude's a Chargers fan.
Yeah.
So that's why there's all that hate on the Raiders side.
I mean, it's factual, though. What are they, like 1 and...
Yeah, no, it's true. You're right.
Shit, we're 1 and 2 too. Never
yeah,
mind.
so that's awkward.
Yeah.
So I was talking about Daniel Jones. I'm going to start Daniel Jones.
When were you talking about Daniel Jones?
I was just talking about him with Jared Goff because the Buccaneers allowed 37 points to Daniel Jones last week.
Okay.
So on that note, I'm starting Daniel Jones against Washington. He scored 37 points last week, like I said earlier, against the Bucs. Most of his points came after Saquon went down, obviously. But you know what that means? That means the offense will now be ran through him. And Washington is ranked 28th against quarterbacks. So Daniel Jones, it's a go. Start him.
I like that. We're sort of on the same wavelength because one of my sit-ems was the Redskins defense.
There you go.
And that's because I'm intrigued in whatever Daniel Jones is. Whatever he is, whatever he's going to be, I like it so far. And there's no Saquon Barkley. There's Wayne Goldman is his backup, right?
Yeah.
He's going to step up, and I think he's going to do just enough to keep the Redskins defense on their toes to the point where Daniel Jones can get into a shootout with the Redskins. So sit the Redskins defense.
All right. So for my last one, remember how I said I was a homer? Well, I'm going to be a homer again.
Wow.
And I was doing my homework. I was seeing what defenses I wanted to start.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm going to go on a whim, and I'm starting the LA Rams defense against the Buccaneers. Shout out my boy Steve. He's a big-ass Bucs fan. But these defensive-minded Rams are going to beat your team. Look, the first 3 games, their defense has allowed an average of 285 yards per game. That's the 3rd smallest average in the league. On top of that, the Bucs rank 20th in passing yards per game. And they also are 16th in passing touchdowns, with just only 5 passing touchdowns. And the Bucs have already allowed 10 sacks already in 3 weeks. What does that mean? That means that secondary is going to get to Jameis. Also, on top of that, the Rams have only allowed 1 passing touchdown in 3 games. It's a go. It's a go. Start the Rams defense.
Okay. I value everything you say. You make some good points. But I made a great point before we started recording today.
You did.
And I told you the Rams have not played a good, healthy quarterback so far this year. So those numbers that you just listed, you have to understand that they're going to be a bit inflated. The only reason I'm siding with you on the start side is because they're going to get after Jameis Winston because of how terrible that offensive line is. But as far as, not allowing so many yards, not allowing so many touchdowns or whatever, they played to hurt Cam Newton. They played Drew Brees for all of 5 minutes. And then you had Baker Mayfield who hasn't figured out. Though. They played Baker Mayfield who hasn't figured out what Baker Mayfield is. So, let's temper expectations. They will have a good week this week.
Thank you.
But let's not say that their defense, let's not even call them defensive minded. I didn't even like how you said that.
Hey. We got ballers on our defense. What you mean?
You have big names.
We got ballers.
I wouldn't call them ballers, but you have big names. My last sit-em is going to be, Steve's going to hate us. It's going to be O.J. Howard versus the Los Angeles Rams. In the tight end world, when it comes to fantasy, they have a big three. Who's in that big three? You got Travis Kelce, you got George Kittle, and Zach Ertz. Before the season started, I feel like there was a lot of hype around O.J. Howard to be one of those guys that was borderline. Yes. Gonna break into that big three, possibly make it a big four. But he just hasn't lived up to that. He hasn't lived up to that, I should say. And that's partly because he's only been targeted 9 times in 3 games. A lot of it has to do with the emergence of Chris Godwin, but most of it has to do with the subpar performances from famous Jameis Winston. So I can depend on O.J. Howard. I wouldn't drop him for my team. I'd probably bench him just to see what I'll give him a chance. Give him a chance. He could turn things around. But the inconsistency of Jameis Winston is going to hurt who O.J. Howard is or what he could be. So you got to sit him against the Rams this week, I think, man.
Okay. I like it.
Danny, to keep it real, it's been a good time, man.
It's been good.
I appreciate you for showing up every week.
Unlike
Jameis Winston, who doesn't show up every week.
Nah, you flip a coin.
You flip a coin with that guy.
You do.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode, man. Unless you got something that I might have missed on.
Nah, I think that's it. I think we're good.
Shout out Nick Cannon. He's a gigolo, getting lots of hoes, getting lots of dough. But he did do a song with R. Kelly. We'll talk about that next time. See you guys later.
Deuces.